So gas prices are about to jump, and this has many people very concerned. Not just for drivers, because if you have a car and you constantly fuel up your vehicle and you don't own an electric vehicle, then the problem is gas prices going up means you have to put more money into the tank. Well, here's the other issue. As gas prices go up, shipping becomes more expensive. As shipping becomes more expensive, so does food and everything else we consume here in the United States. But I want to show you something, because some say gas prices are going to shoot up by about 13%. Others say they're going to jump by more than $1. Look at this right here. It says oil price predictions. The case for crude prices to surge to $130. It says right here, oil prices climbed significantly on Friday, June 13th, after Israel launched an airstrike against Iran in response to its alleged violation of nuclear non-proliferation rules. Still, experts at JP Morgan continue to assert that oil will remain within a tight range of $60 to $65 through 2026. It says August Brent crude futures are currently trading between just below $75 as of this writing. That was last week. Okay? Here's the reason why that is concerning. It's concerning because that was when we were told the United States was not going to be involved in this conflict. President Trump is more than involved. I want to show you this though. It says right here, gas prices could jump 30 cents a gallon by July 4th, according to analysts. That's 2 weeks away. So in just over 2 weeks, we are going to see gas prices jump by about 30 cents a gallon. But that's not all. Look at this right here. Okay, I want to read this to you. It says, are gas prices in the U.S. going up because of this conflict? The answer, yes. It says, after Israel attacked Iran last week, oil prices jumped about $10 a barrel. While they remain relatively low at around $74, the jump translates into a price increase at the pump for U.S. consumers of roughly 20 cents per gallon. According to the research firm Clearview Energy Partners, drivers will start to feel that in the coming days. There is typically a lag of a few days between spikes in the oil price and what drivers pay at the pump. As gas stations run through their inventory, the average cost of a gallon of regular nationwide is currently $3.14. Keep in mind, that was just a few days ago, or a couple days ago. As of today, it's $3.18, okay? I want to show you this. So a week ago it was $3.12. Yesterday, $3.16. Today, $3.18.7. So it's gone up by 2 cents. That's actually pretty important. If gas prices jump by 40 cents, okay? 40 cents. That is a 12.6% increase. That's at 40% or 40 cents. I want to show you this though. It says right here, gasoline would still be cheaper than it was this time last year, even with a 20-cent price increase. Well, that's great. It's cheaper than last year, but last year was too expensive anyway. It says, how high are they going to go? Well, this is where things get interesting. It's unclear. Analysts warn that there are scenarios in which they could soar quite high, pushing prices at the pump past $4 per gallon. But they are not necessarily expecting things to play out that way. Many right now believe that the price of oil will not go beyond $80 a barrel, meaning the shock at the pump for U.S. drivers would be limited to an increase of about 40 cents from the prices today. Okay, so 40 cents from the prices today. That is still more than what most people want to pay. Keep in mind, it's $3.18. 40 cents means it's $3.58. Okay. When was the last time we saw that? Okay, and again, the last time we saw the highest prices were 3 years ago, and that's where it was $5.16. Okay, now I don't think it's getting up that high. I honestly don't. But here's the concern. Okay, we don't know what's going to happen. We have no clue what's going to happen because we don't know if President Trump is going to jump into this conflict with Israel and Iran. Look at this though. I want to show you this. It says, what could force prices past $4 per gallon? Well, the big question mark right now is whether Iran will pursue a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, which would risk tipping oil markets into heavily undersupply, according to this vice president of commodities market, the Rystad Energy. While Israel and Iran account for only 2% of global oil supply, the Middle East overall supplies as much as 12% of the world's oil. And a closure by the Strait by Iran would disrupt the flow of much of it. But the US and Europe aren't the areas that would be most heavily affected. China and India buy as much as 80% of the oil that goes through the strait. It goes on to say, a closure would create economic hardship for China, a key Iran ally, further isolating Iran politically and economically. Okay, so do we see this happening? Do we think the Strait of Hormuz is going to be shut? I don't think so. Okay, but even though it's not shut, there are shippers, the shipping companies that do not want to send their ships through it because they're concerned that what if there is a blockade? What if there is a rogue missile and it hits? That's concerning. So that's why, for a liability standpoint, they don't want to deal with it. So that right there is already causing prices to go up. Here's the other thing. This is just a small conflict, okay? And I hate saying small conflict because there are lives at stake here. But this is, according to world experts, this is a very small conflict. The concern is if the United States, or if Israel, again, is saying that Iran has nuclear capabilities, and and Israel wants to eliminate that. If that is still an issue here in the next several months, for instance, gas prices are going to go up over the next several months if we're still dealing with this. But the big problem is, what if we do not get rid of all the facilities, the nuclear facilities and the bunkers and all this stuff? There's still that question that, okay, they have nuclear capabilities, where are they at? And so this is why Israel wants the United States to jump in, get involved, and help them eliminate all the talk and all the potential terrorist activities. But here's the reason why I'm bringing this up. If the United States doesn't jump in, then it creates other issues. And again, they're going to go on for years. We've been dealing with this for decades. But if the United States does jump in, there could potentially be attacks. There could also be, again, China, who is an ally of Iran. China could jump in. China could do some things as well. China said the other day that empires fail, and maybe the United States is one of those empires. It's just going to fail. Well, hopefully not, but we'll see. Just understand right now, gas prices are expected to go up. They are going to jump. We are going to see them go up a little bit, but experts believe they're going to go up by before the 4th of July. So we got a couple weeks left. We're already seeing gas prices tick up a little bit. So my advice to you is, if you are running on empty, you have a vehicle, maybe it's time you actually go and fill it up. And the next thing is, if you need food or other things like that, go buy them now, because over the next few weeks, especially leading into the July 4th weekend, prices typically go up. So I'll leave you with that. But again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.